Anybody that says they understand, they have totally hacked and understand real estate in Lagos is a fool. And excuse my very strong language, because the truth of the matter is that the whole space is a whole sham, starting from the government to the Omoniles, to the developers, to the agents. And I'm going to be starting with talking about the truth about the Magodo incident that happened this past week. So if you are aware of it, or those of you that aren't aware, in Magodo Phase 2 this past week, people came, Omoniles came with armed men, and they started marking houses. And they said that they had gotten a court order to demolish those houses because that was the ancestral land that these people that were living in, built houses upon. And it was so bad that the next day, the estates, trying to protect themselves, because I think there was even an excavator that was brought, they actually locked the gate. So there was no thoroughfare, people weren't coming in, people couldn't go out. This stalemate lasted, this standoff lasted quite a couple of hours till like later in the afternoon. And as at then, things had cooled down. But the true story of what happened was that very many years ago, during the military era, the military had taken this pieces of land, this large expanse of land there at Magodo. And obviously, when the military takes stuff from you, you cannot do anything about it. But when we transitioned into the civilian government, and it's still in the possession of the government started selling it to their cronies, started selling it to people, started selling it to their friends, other people in government, and people built estates there, people built houses there, and it was life continued as usual. But the problem with that is that the people could not just keep quiet, because this is their ancestral land. This is the land that they always had. This is the land that their grandparents, the ancestors passed to them. So they took it to the courts. I don't know if it's the customary court or the appeal courts. They took it to the courts and they won. And the court asked them to maintain status quo. Everybody should vacate because this actually belongs to these people. The Lagos State government was not satisfied. Lagos State government took it to the higher courts. They also affirmed the decision of the lower courts up till the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said that the Lagos State government should give them 549 plots or thereabouts there at Magodo because this belongs to them. And the Lagos State government did not obey that court order. And so what you saw last week, or what you saw recently, was as a result of people, the Omoniles, the people that are involved, taking the laws into their hands because people haven't done anything. And they asked the estate executives, what happened? Are you aware of this? They said, okay, they just recently became aware of it because those people that bought land with the C of O as title. They were giving C of O's. That land doesn't come any safer than a C of O. The government gave them a C of O that, okay, this is land that is safe for you to buy. And they didn't think anything of it. They bought the land, and a few years down the line, you're facing this type of embarrassment. Somebody's coming to be painting in your house. Somebody's coming to stop you from going out. People are, telling you that they're going to evict you. They're going to destroy, demolish your land. And at the end of the day, there's still going to be payment made to this Omonile. And it's not going to be cheap. That's the truth of the matter. They're not going to demolish anything, but you're going to have to pay them. You're going to have to settle them. And you probably will keep quiet for a while. And maybe 5 years from now, 10 years from now, the same thing will happen. And I can remember somebody saying that the government had given them assurance that, you'll be protected. That's why it took some time for them before they opened the gates. And this is not different from the Banana Island story, because Banana Island is another ticking time bomb. And people are buying billion-dollar houses in Banana Island. People are buying billion-dollar lands in Banana Island, billion naira properties in Banana Island. But the history of Banana Island is even more heart-wrenching, and it's sad. And many people do not know the history of Banana Island. People just feel like, okay, this is where the big boys stay. So there's this guy that was a civil engineer, Mr. Adebayo Adeleke, He schooled in the University of London, and he came back to Nigeria. He wanted to set up like an estate. Let's say he was a developer. When he set up an estate, he had a company under whose auspices he was going to be doing that. And as he began, he went to Morocco at VI, Victoria Island. And there at Morocco, he started stuff, but the government came and hustled this land from him. They destroyed that his settlement, they destroyed that his vision, and he took them to court. And it lasted about 10 years. It was a 10-year court battle, back and forth, till the court finally told the Lagos state government to give him other plots, to reimburse him basically the value of that land. And I think some of the land that they gave him was around this Ikoyi and Ikoyi foreshore access. So he actually was the brainchild of Banana Island. And then it was the plans. If you look at the blueprint, it was actually supposed to be called Lagoon City. And he had so much amazing goals for it. There's going to be an airport. The company he was using was the Westminster's dredging company. They were going to do the land reclamation and excavation and dredging and everything. There's going to be an airport. The construction firm he hired was going to do build the twin tower that is there. That's the Lake Point twin tower. That's the one that's opposite the Airtel office, I think. This is the company that also built the World Trade Center in New York, and he had massive plans for it. When he started that going toward that place wasn't much to write home about, and people scoffed at him. What is he doing? Why is this? He's going to he's going to the water, in quotes. But when it started shaping up and people started seeing his vision come to life, the hawks, the bears, they came again. The vultures, they came again, and they grabbed this investment and they took everything from him. And people with vested interest, the government, they just came, they started sand-filling different portions. They sand-filled 5 different portions, and then they made it like the shape of a banana. And till he died, this man was litigating. He went to, currently now, this is still in a UK and a European court. So this Banana Island is still a contested. It's actually there is a court order on the land. It's a land under contention. Actually, many people do not know this, but Lagos state government has shown a history of theft, of grand theft, and they have just shown so much dishonesty when it comes to land and land ownership. And it's the same mentality, the same rent-seeking mentality in the minds of Omoniles, these ancestral owners of the land, that they just feel like if you're doing something good, or you cannot necessarily do much without the coalescing with them, without kind of working with them, or without them having huge rebates from what you're doing. And so the story just keeps repeating itself. It's a dog-eat-dog situation. A realtor came to my comments in the one that I did about common scams to avoid about real estate companies, and she was trying to, in quotes, school me. And now I just really answered her because she was kind of courteous. That's why I answered her. But truth of the matter is that it's very, very foolish to think that you figure this thing out, you're going to do this thing, because what we're doing here is just a different game of nepotism. It's a different, just a messed up, the structure is very, very messed up, right from the government to the Omoniles, to the real estate developers, and even other mercenaries. Because back then we used to say, do your due diligence and you'll be fine. And that's what she was telling me, do your due diligence. How will you be selling stuff to people that you have not done your due diligence? But what happened in Abidjan, with a particular family, and I'm going to do a video about that, a particular family that after selling, they had a C of O, after selling the land, the Lagos state government had an agreement with them, and after selling the land to a particular developer and the money finished, because that's always, the money will always finish, they came back and they told the people that they gave the land to that we want our land back, or blah blah blah, they did not finish paying this one, that one, see the greed. And long and short, the matter went to court because actually Lagos State government was the one that had that deal with that developer to actually develop homes. So it was actually now them versus the Lagos State government. And in some way or form or manner or order, whether the judge was compromised or anything, the family won. And the Lagos State government, out of anger, just withdrew the excision they had of other properties in Abidjan in that axis. So just imagine that you bought or you had excision, you bought properties from this family before. Overnight now, your property is untitled because of petty feuds, because of a revenge, between the Lagos State government and those people. And now this Shangisha Association, which are the owners of this, the supposed ancestral owners of this land in Magodo, if they have other landed property, probably in Ekpe, Ibejileki, and what have you, the Lagos State government can just decide, okay, you are embarrassing these people, my goons, my cronies, blah, blah, blah. They can just withdraw it. And so you that had a titled land yesterday, you don't have a titled land again. Probably you can't build. You now start chasing issues here and there. So it's just, it's so, and that's why most of the time these developers try to have a relationship with both the government, and also they try to develop relationship with this Omonile. Is an art. It's you first of all, you're paying you're settling people in the government, you're settling people here and there, and even if you say I'm going to do my due diligence, this one that I found out recently that it just shocked me, that even surveyors, the office of the surveyor general is on the payroll of some developer. So a developer will know that this land has issues, or this land might be committed, but the government is not ready to do anything now, and they will buy it and they sell to people. And then when you go with the shoe-in, or you go with the coordinator and you say, okay, it's here, because these surveyors are even compromised by the real estate developers, they will tell you, oh yeah, this is what is supposed to be here, this blah blah blah, but you don't know that's probably supposed to be a government school, supposed to be a probably committed for some purpose or the other. So are you just saying that everywhere you turn there's just it's just like you're in you're at war, and there are this stuff called mines that they put on the ground that you just explodes on you if you do not know. And but you can protect yourself though, in as much as it has turned to something like sort of a sham. The way you can protect yourself is do your due diligence. However, there are some people that aren't compromised, and I think it will cost you less than a 5%, 2%, even 1% of what you're paying for your land. I mean, it won't cost you anything to actually do your due diligence to find out that what I'm paying for is actually okay, is free for me, is there's no encumbrance on the land. And also innovation, especially places in Lagos State. Lagos State does not like innovation in the sense that you just want to do something new, just want to go to somewhere barren that nobody has been there. There's a reason people are not been there. Somewhere like Aja is just open, and then you come to Ongombo roadside, and then you just see vast amounts of empty land. Nothing is happening there. And or it's just recently that real estate developers started coming to the place. Most times there are issues that you do not know, and these developers, they will give you a deed. They will give you a deed of assignment that you want to see. There's probably like 2 or 3 other deeds from 2 or 3 other families. But the good thing about dealing with developers is that at the end of the day, to their credit, these developers also, after they sell the stuff to you, they try and start regularizing it. Some will do, some will not even care. But, they try to regularize the title, but others, that's where it ends. Also, thing that we used to say back then was that make sure it has an indemnity clause. But even the indemnity clause, they have the way they frame that clause in such a way that it protects them. So if probably you're not interested in the property again, I ask them, oh, this is not what I supposed to get. Give me back my land. Give me back my money. Give me back this. Somebody was telling me about a particular one that they will not pay you until you have gone to court and they lose. And so many people don't even have that luxury that will afford them to spend years dragging around. Like, these developers probably can deploy more resources than you that probably use your life savings. They can deploy more resources than you to be able to go to the court to litigate and stuff like that. So this whole stuff is crazy. It's crazy. It's a freaking sham. It's a freaking, like, it's problems everywhere. You recall, and I did in one video, how Max Rider, Go-Kada, they went to the government, they snapped pictures with Somolu, and they invested millions of dollars in the ride hailing with bikes. And right now, when they just stifled everything and they killed off everything, now are there not motorcycles on the streets of Lagos? So you also need to be wise when you're dealing with, when you're dealing with the devil, you eat with a long spoon. And I feel like people, if you want to live, you have a particular sort of rule, or you want to actually live in Lagos, that's okay. But like, if you just want to invest, you're looking to invest your money in something that you want to flip in a few years, I feel like you should rethink, or really do extensive due diligence. Recently or very soon, I'm going to start kind of spicing up my content and be doing stuff on digital real estate, because people are making money from different other places that you can put your money, and not your mouth, your hand is not, your life is not, your heart is not jumping to your mouth every time. Maybe 10 or 20 years from now, when we see, there's issue, it comes to the news again, Banana Island, blah blah blah, maybe they cordon off the road and people cannot enter, and people will say, as if this is the first time this is happening. But there's a situation that is already on ground. Somebody started this development, and the government came and took it from him, and vested individuals came and took it from him. And it reminds me of the P&ID situation, where this company that probably didn't even have the means wanted to do an investment, but it's the way that it was handled. And then Nigeria has a court order in the British court, and we are asked to pay millions and millions and billions of dollars that we don't even have, because people don't really handle stuff well. So you can see that, when a problem happens in real estate in Nigeria, in Lagos, it didn't happen overnight. It has been years of somebody being cheated. It has been years of injustice. It has been years of doing the wrong thing, years of cover up all around, from agents to the developers to the government, and just poor systems, compromised individuals, all of these things happening. So like I said, I'll be doing a bit of a shift on other stuff that you can invest your money, you can put in your money, and you can be sure of returns. But that's not to say that, you're going to live in fear or do not invest in anything. There are people that are out there that have not been compromised. They'll tell you, okay, government school is supposed to be here, and also don't try and deal with these guys, these ancestral landowners alone. You can't win. There's no way you can win, and also try as much as possible, even if you're going to do it, to go with experts, people, lawyers that have been in the game for like 20 years, people that have been in the game for very long. And as much as we can, we will try and recommend only the stuff that we are very, very sure of. And if I'm not sure of anything, I'm going to give you a caveat, because I don't want to even lose sleep. A realtor was saying some time ago about a particular developer they sold for, and the person was saying this thing has even turned to a curse, because the client was just on their neck. It has turned to a curse. The client was on their neck because sometimes some things can go wrong. So I will explain to you all of the nitty-gritty involved, but at the end of the day, it's you are left to make your decision. And we are going into the new year, and it's going to be new year, more possibilities. So I think I have pretty much covered everything I want to cover. What I just want to make is that real estate in Lagos is a sham. But when you're eating with the devil, you need to use a long spoon and protect yourself. Protect your investment, protect your money, and also there are other ways that you can actually make money from businesses here in Nigeria, especially people in the diaspora just want to invest. But if you want to, some people also want to get somewhere to live, just actually calm down, do what you're supposed to do, and at the end of the day you would get the buck for your money. But then again, I feel like Lagos, be that as it may, Lagos is a very, especially Lekki access, Lagos is a very, very, very good place for investment. And even if you're going to have an exit plan, because somebody was saying, oh, the flooding. Yeah, flooding is a big issue, and people, experts are saying that Lagos can be submerged by 2050. But like I'm telling you, there's a way that you can actually do your investment and actually plan your investment, in that by that time, if anything is going to go wrong, by the time anything goes wrong, let's say you have a timeline of 10 years before something invariably goes wrong, you've gotten back your capital, you've made profit, probably 100%, 200% and over. I posted a video of Pastor Matthew on this channel about a particular property he was buying in Lekki, and in less than a month he had added 3 million naira. So if anything is even going to happen, you would have made back your money, because you are intentional about your investment and what have you. So thank you so very much for watching. This is Uche Philip and Morty from the Ownahome, the NG TV show. Here at Ownahome, we believe that owning a home should not make you lose sleep, so we're committed to giving you the very best property recommendations and insider real estate gist. So thank you for watching. Watch out for more. Kindly like, kindly share, kindly drop a comment, tell me what you think about this video, and subscribe if you already haven't. I'm going to see you in the very next video. Bye bye.